language ideologies in the Cuban-American community that we've been identifying and writing about. Ideology of generationism. Okay, so the idea that real Cuban Spanish came here in 1959, or 1960, or 61, or 1981, depending on who you ask. And that each successive generation that comes thereafter, the Spanish is less real, it's less pure, it's less good. Okay? When we pause to consider the classed and racialized dimensions to waves of immigration from Cuba to Miami, those comments about Spanish serve as a proxy for talking about racial and class identities. So they're kind of problematic, actually. An ideology of monolingual languages, the belief that languages are naturally separate and should always be separate and distinct. Okay? But we know in situations of sustained language contact, people mix their languages. That's a very, very, very normal thing to do. We can have conversations about when it's appropriate to mix and when it's not appropriate to mix, but to vilify, vitiate, or demonize an entire community for mixing their language, not a good thing to do. Okay, and then finally the ideology of personal responsibility suggests that, I didn't even show you the data because it's such a short talk, suggests that maintenance of non-English languages is the responsibility of individuals, not of the community or the society at large. So there's a lot of, for me, really heart-wrenching moments in my data when people say, Cuban-American youth say, I really wish that I spoke Spanish better, or I really wish I could speak with my siblings. I should be doing more. I should get Duolingo. I should get, download all of these tapes. I should be studying. Okay, I. And what's not on people's radar, and this is why we call it an ideology, is that the maintenance of the language is the responsibility of the community. Okay, not of just individuals.
So again, it's looking at history, it's looking at the past in order to understand, her sense of identity. This is fairly common, I think also in literature. And the one on the right is also part of the series he did on cars. His later work, I don't have images of this now, but he's also has a huge body of work that references Miami's deep car culture. Here you can see it a little bit. This is a little more recent, and this is the interior of, sort of a fictional interior of a car that's decked out in, designer brands, and then you see sort of this facet. Don't want to too much, but Cuban artists are now Cuban-American artists who have grown up here, like the artists that I talked about, are now beginning to go back to Cuba, and Cuban artists from Havana are coming to Miami, and so this sort of flow that's taking place.